Hi, welcome to the video. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy, and comment your thoughts and opinions on the stories. Let's get started. Am I the antagonist for refusing to go to my brother's wedding if my daughter isn't allowed to come? I, 45 male, have two daughters, 14F and 16F, who were both excited to attend my brother, 38 male, and sister-in-law's, 22F, wedding happening in 12 days. And so was I until this morning when my brother and sister-in-law came for an unexpected visit. Another event that happened recently was my younger daughter having to take a break from her soccer team after she tripped on the ball and suffered an injury to her face, and the scars she gained from the impact were noticeable, but certainly not ruining. My sister-in-law didn't know about this and started to act oddly when around my youngest daughter. After a quick snack, my sister-in-law asked to speak to me alone in a reluctant manner and told me that my daughter might make the guests uncomfortable at her wedding. When I asked her why she thought that way, she stated that the scar was noticeable and it would be best if my eldest daughter attended only. I got defensive quickly and told her if my daughter isn't allowed to come, then I won't come. My brother overheard and tried to mediate the situation, but my sister-in-law told me if I didn't want to come, that was up to me. At the end, I told them to leave and that I wasn't attending the wedding. My sister-in-law left quickly, but my brother said that my sister-in-law shouldn't impact my choice to go and that it was a tradition in pretty much every wedding to have the groom's brothers attend. Am I the asshole? What the flipping heck is wrong with your future sister-in-law and brother? On a serious note, the idea of your sister-in-law putting the aesthetic of her wedding ahead of the ludicrous potential reactions of her guests has me on the verge of gagging. Comment by team member Parker. Now for the top comments. NTA. Don't go. Your brother is marrying a shallow individual and you are standing up for your daughter. No one will be afraid. Shallow, too young for your brother is worried about her day being ruined and pictures being forever scarred because of your daughter's appearance. She's just too immature to be honest. Yes, Opus. I'm sure you will be happy to attend your brother's next wedding. Not the a-hole. That should be Ops only reply if anyone asks why he didn't go. NTA. That's what your brother gets for marrying a 22-year-old bride. Total immaturity. But her Instagram pictures. I laughed too hard at this. NTA. OBV. NTA sounds like a very understanding bride. /s edit. Holy shit. How did I miss that age gap? Yeah, the sister-in-law still has an immature mindset. Am I the antagonist for refusing to take in a puppy after my niece didn't want it anymore? I, 18 male, am the youngest of 3 brothers, both of whom have kids. It was recently my niece's birthday and she had begged her parents to get her a puppy, so they did. Sadly, it was more like a 2-week wonder. Soon they were all saying they don't want to take it out for walks. They don't want to clean its poo. They don't want to look after it in general. Because of all of this, my brother decided to reach out to me. I already own a gecko and he is the cutest thing in the world. So my brother thought I was a good person to reach out to. He explained what was going on and asked me if I could take care of the puppy. I asked him for how long and he said indefinitely. I wasn't surprised, tbh. I told my brother not to get her one because she would become bored of it and it would just become an annoyance. I explained that even if I wanted to, I couldn't because of my gecko. Geckos, especially Cresties like the one I have, according to the person I got my gecko from, they do not do well if you have any other big animals. Anything like dogs, cats, rabbits, all those types just would scare it to death. Quite literally. I told him that I'm sorry, but I just can't take the puppy in. He said that he would give me all the food and everything I will need to look after it, but they just don't want it anymore. Those words hurt my heart. I'm not an animal lover, but I do care for animals. They are living creatures just like us. I continued to say that I would not take it in, and that maybe you should ask someone else. If worse comes to worse, you will have to take it to a shelter. My brother told me that it wasn't that big of a deal, and that I only have one gecko, so I could easily take the puppy in. He said that I was being a pain and difficult, because now he will have to find someone else to take it in. So, am I the antagonist? Take it. It's just a puppy. No big issue. was the advice. Crested geckos could care less about my pets. Whoever informed you that you couldn't have another animal at the same time as your dog, I would kick in the shin extremely hard. Comment by team member Parker. Now for the top comments. NTA. Also, if it is so easy, why don't they take care of the puppy? Animals are not toys. That's the sad thing. It was awful to hear that the Busties' time at animal shelters is 3 weeks after Christmas because the kids got them, played with them for a bit, and then the hype died down, and it was more like another chore they had to do. Your brother sucks. // looks at almost 4-month-old puppy in the living room / NTA. Puppies are a huge responsibility, and if you don't want another pet you certainly shouldn't be expected to take one. The shelters around where I live can't keep puppies, they get adopted quickly. The family just wants someone else to take care of the puppy, so they can still have a dog without having to take care of one. If Op is pushed into a corner, they should just take the dog to a shelter themselves. NTA, you have your pet well-being first. Tell your brother to tell his child to grow up and handle her responsibilities. You can't give living things away cause you're bored. Am I the antagonist for telling my younger siblings that their dad is not my dad? I'm 16F and I live with my mom, stepdad and my younger half siblings. My dad died 9 years ago and my mom married Dave 6 years ago. My half siblings are 7F, 6 male 5F and 3 meters. My mom and Dave call him my dad. They refer to themselves as my parents, but I only ever use his name and use his name in conversation with others. We've had so much therapy together to try and find a way forward with me calling Dave dad, but it's not going to happen. My siblings have been calling me out for calling him Dave a lot in the last 6 months. I told mom she needs to talk to them and explain it, because I will if they don't. She told me I never talk to them about it because it's not my place. We ended up in a fight over it. I have pushed for the last several months, but I had enough, so 3 days ago they brought it up again, and the 7-year-old told me I was being mean and rude, and that we don't call our parents their first names. So I sat the older 3 down and told them Dave is not my dad. My dad died, and mom married Dave when she already had me. I even showed them a photo of my dad. They asked why I didn't call both dad. I said because I don't want to. There was pushback on it which Dave overheard. Then he and my mom got super pissed. We fought. They said it was not my place and told me I had no right. My stuff was taken as a punishment, but I'm at a family member's house for a few days and they're letting me use the internet again. So yeah, am I the antagonist? I wonder why your mother insists so adamantly that you address your stepfather as father. That seems like an unusual thing to get hung up on. Do you remember your father's birthday? You ought to be able to honor him. It seems like your mother would want to forget about him. Comment by team member Alex. Now for the top comments. NTA. I'm sorry they won't respect your decision not to call your mother's husband dad. It's 100% your business and you didn't tell the kids any lies, so didn't deserve to be punished. NTA. Ask Dave. If he dies, how quickly should his kids replace him? Ask your mom the same thing. Let's say she dies in a year. Can you call the next woman Dave Bang's mom? NTA. Since when is you parentage not yours to tell? Regardless of the age of the audience? Apparently since they didn't want my siblings to know. NTA. They are trying to erase your dad from you. Your stepfather can still be a father figure in your life, while keeping your biological father with you. NTA. Do they not wonder why you have relatives that they don't have? Am I the antagonist for dropping out as mom in my older sister's wedding? Backstory. I, 23F, have 2 sisters. Jenna, 25. Summer, 19. And a brother. Jason, 22. My parents also took in a family member. Rachel, 11. A few months ago. Rachel has been through some shit. She doesn't talk. She never lets go of this little stuffed elephant. And she follows my mom everywhere. She can't go to school yet because my mom and her therapist agree that it would be too much for her. Rachel is the sweetest kid ever, though. She's always down to cuddle and watch a Disney movie, and she has the cutest smile. I was even allowed to touch her elephant the other day. Jenna has always been a pretty difficult person. She hasn't lived at home in a while. She moved out for college, moved back home for a few months, then moved in with her boyfriend, now fiancé. My parents have been using her room as a guest room, but they never changed anything about it. Rachel has also been staying there. My parents are going to adopt Rachel and they want to turn Jenna's old room into Rachel's new room. They told Jenna they're turning her old room into Rachel's room, so she needs to come and go through her stuff and decide what she wants to keep and what she wants to donate or throw away. Jenna said they can find another place to put Rachel and she's not giving up her room. My parents said they already made their decision and Jenna made an ultimatum. Either our parents keep her room the way it is, or she goes NC. My dad and I packed all of Jenna's stuff into boxes and put it in an empty garage. We painted Rachel's new room, put together furniture, and filled the closet with new clothes and toys. We even built in a snack bar. Rachel loves it. She's starting to stay in her room more. Before she'd only go in her room if she needed to change or sleep, and I'm pretty sure I heard her talking to her elephant. Not as good as talking to a person, but well, take it. The problem is, now Jenna and my parents are in a huge fight. Jenna went NC and uninvited my parents from her wedding. In retaliation, my parents announced that they won't pay for half of the wedding anymore and they're not going to pay the down payment on a house for Jenna and her fiancé, their wedding present. This has caused Jenna to call them abusive and neglectful to anyone that listen. I was supposed to be her mom, but I can't believe she's acting like this, so I dropped out of the wedding party. Now Jenna's even madder and her fiancé is saying the entire family is being cruel to her. Jenna's reaction is massively exaggerated and entitled, but I'm curious if there were any other viable options for Rachel's room. After my brother moved out, my mother converted his room into a guest room. My previous room, that's where her 2 cats live. Comment by team member Charlie. Now for the top comments. NTA. Jenna sounds insufferable. I suspect the experience of being her mom would be the same. Save yourself the agony. I'm fairly sure your mom or dad posted their story in here yesterday. Could this be them? God, all of the details just line up, so clearly it has to be. NTA. And seriously, what did Jenna think was gonna happen when she elected to go NC and uninvite her parents from her wedding? That they would still pay for it and give a generous wedding present? And what kind of entitled calls this cruelty? They are literally accepting Jenna's offer not to participate. Her childhood bedroom is the hill she's decided to die on. Okay then. Play stupid games. Win stupid prizes. FFS. She sounds so entitled. NTA. NTA. Jenna's reaction to all of this is massively out of proportion and entitled. But I'm curious, was there any other good option for Rachel's room? It's also like so weird to me. She's about to be married and wants a room at her parents' house still. IDK, it seems a little old to throw a tantrum about. And you parents are 100% in the right for pulling that money. And abusive and neglectful. She's 25. She thinks losing a wedding budget is neglecting her. FFS. Am I the antagonist for evicting my roommate after buying the condo we rented together? I live in a small condo, 600 square feet, with a roommate, Caitlin. We didn't know each other before moving in. She rents the bigger room, and I rent the smaller one. Our landlord told us she wants to sell the condo, and I jumped in on the opportunity to buy it. She sold it to me almost 15% below market price. So it's great. I already gave her the deposit and we will sign the papers in a few days. Then the condo will be mine 3 months from now. After me giving our landlord the deposit, Caitlin was ecstatic. She brought a champagne to celebrate. Told me I'm the best and she will save so much money from now on by not having to pay rent. I don't know where she got this from, and I thought our landlord already told her how long she has until she has to move out. But it seems not. I told Caitlin that it's a small condo and don't need a roommate anymore. She will have to move out in 3 months. But I'd gladly help her look for a new place. She flipped out. She asked me if I seriously want to evict her and throw her out on the street. She said she thought we were friends, and if she had the money to buy the place, she would let me stay for free, because that's what decent people do. Then she switched and started bargaining with me that I can have the bigger room and she will stay in the small room. She won't bother much, and so on. I feel a bit guilty. I really thought it was given that she will have to move out. Maybe I should told Caitlin before giving the deposit to our landlord. I feel sorry for her. I know she doesn't make a lot of money, but at 26, I don't want to live in a small room anymore, especially if I own the condo. Am I the antagonist? Edit. Our landlord told us that she will put the condo on the market in a few weeks, but we don't have to worry. She will tell the new owner that she won't give over the keys right away, so we have enough time to look for a new place. We are month to month. I didn't think Caitlin would think she didn't have to move out anymore, just because I'm the one who bought the condo. As for the legal issues where we live, there is no such thing as a lease continuing with the new owner. I can't evict Caitlin because I'm not the one she has a contract with. Her lease is with the current landlord and the landlord has to give Caitlin a written notification, which seems like she hasn't done yet. Edit 2. I'm still buying the condo. In my first edit I explained what a landlord told us 2 weeks ago. She first announced that she will sell soon and we will need to move out. Then I talked to her and eventually made an offer. Caitlin's assumption that she could live there rental free because you bought the property was utterly presumptuous. 3 months is more than enough time to look for a new home. The only thing I don't understand is how 600 square feet could accommodate 2 beds. Comment by team member Shannon. Now for the top comments. She immediately assumed she wouldn't have to pay rent. Why? To me this would have been a conversation of if I would then pay rent to you, or if I should start looking for a place. You gave her ample time to find a new place and offered to help look. Not the a-hole. That's the part one don't understand either. Pretty entitled for someone to assume that they won't have to pay rent somewhere. Op is not the a-hole at all. I'm disturbed that Caitlin's first thought was that she would live rent free. That is incredibly entitled. Did she think you got it for free? If you want to do a nice gesture you could help her look for a place or help her pay for movers, etc. Depending on the severity of her financial situation. But you are not entitled to keep her as a roommate, nor should you feel an ounce of regret for doing what is right for you. Congratulations on your new place. NTA. Not only did she expect that she'd stay rent-free, but she initially expected to keep everything the same, with her in the larger room. The audacity. Am I the antagonist for getting my friend an Inhumane gift that wasn't on her baby registry? A friend I went to college with. She is pregnant. She is super into organics. Holistic stuff, you know. She used to be in a climate crisis organization and volunteers for local eco groups. Loves slow fashion. She's a first time mom and already planning to do the whole gentle parenting, natural products deal. She's baby shower was last week and she had a registry, but everything on it was super expensive. I'm at a hard spot with money and she knows it, and I can't drop a ton of money on wooden toys or an organic stroller. I didn't want to be empty-handed though, so on the day of she's shower I showed up with an Amazon gift card and some cool organic soaps I got at Home Goods. It was all in a bag, so she didn't see what it was. The next day she called me angry saying I know that she doesn't support Amazon or anyone giving their money to Amazon. She said it's an inhumane company that exploits their workers, and she was disappointed in me and that really, I shouldn't have purchased anything at all. I apologized but she seems hurt, acting like I barely know her. I feel awful, but I thought gift cards were just kind of like currency dressed up nowadays and I couldn't afford some $300 contraption when I can barely afford to make myself 3 meals daily. She shouldn't have phoned you up deliberately to criticize your present, and her register ought to cover a range of pricing points. People that are passionate about natural, organic, and environmentally conscious products usually detest large corporations like Amazon for stifling small and local businesses. Comment by team member Shannon. Now for the top comments. An organic stroller. I'm sorry, I just cannot get past this. I rage baited myself into googling organic strollers and now I'm angry. Are they a thing? Yes, and they are made of activated almonds. I'm so glad I don't know what activated almonds are. NTA call she. Tell her that you've been thinking about it and you didn't realize that Amazon exploited its workers. Then explain to her that you are in the position of the workers she is trying to protect, the ones that live paycheck to paycheck and can't afford to survive on one job. Let her know that as your friend, You wish that she would apply the same expectations on herself and have affordable gifts for you to choose from instead of putting you in the position of choosing and making a mistake. The reality is that being elitist isn't the way to help people like you who she is trying so hard to fight for. I'm not upholding capitalism and exploitation by choice. I'm just not wealthy enough to have the luxury of opting out. Info, you mentioned a registry. Where was that registry /to? And were you not able to get a gift card to that place possibly? I know how it is to see those lists and not be able to get something due to costs and have to go a bit rogue. But was her registry for somewhere that didn't offer gift cards?